Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi, welcome. If you're new here, I love having you. Today we're going to be talking about last night's Smackdown. I guess kind of giving a recap and then also like my reaction to things. I know I post a lot of AEW stuff on here because I do watch a lot of AEW, but I also watch WWE. So like I need to start posting content about that too, I guess. So yeah, we're going to talk about Smackdown. It was the first international show on this road to WrestleMania, and a lot of interesting things happened. So I want to talk about them. If you like this video, if you like me, or if you don't, like, comment, subscribe, talk to me in the comments if you want to, and yeah, let's do this. So the first thing I want to start off with is this opening segment thing that happened. LA Knight comes out and off rip this crowd was electric, right? I hate to say this. But international crowds just have nothing on the United States. Like any international crowds bring it every time, and the United States is just like, yeah. But yeah, so this crowd was hot off rip, and LA Knight comes out, and obviously that's going to draw a big crowd reaction. So he comes out, and he is, celebrating his United States Championship win, as he should, I guess. I didn't think that they were going to be doing anything with Shinsuke. It kind of felt like a here damn, when he won the title, and they didn't really have a plan for him afterwards, so it makes sense for him to drop the title. I didn't think it was going to be now, and I didn't think it was going to be LA Knight. Look, I love LA Knight, but I just, I didn't think he needed the title back this soon, but whatever, I'm not booking it. And regardless, I don't really care. So, yeah, so LA Knight comes out and he's celebrating his win or whatever. He starts talking, and then Jimmy Uso's music hits. And when I tell you I jumped out of my seat, because I have been dying for this man to have some sort of direction towards a singles title for the past, since November. Like, I've been waiting. I've really been waiting longer than that, but November, after his amazing performance in the War Games match, I was like, okay, Jimmy Uso singles title run is happening. Like, we're getting there. And they've been really inconsistent with his booking, which I'm gonna rant about that in a second. But, yeah, so Jimmy comes out and he's like, I'm desperate. Like, he's being honest. He's like, I really don't have a way to WrestleMania, and I feel like the only way I can get there is if I challenge you for the U.S. title. Like, yeah. And so the crowd's excited, because as of recent, the crowd's really been behind Jimmy, which I prayed for this and it happened. But, crowd likes Jimmy. Crowd likes Jimmy. And, he's sitting there telling this to LA Knight, and then Solo and Jacob and Tama Tonga come out. And Solo starts talking about how if anyone deserves this opportunity, it's Jacob Fatu, which, whatever. Like, Jacob Fatu does need a singles title, but I don't know. He doesn't scream mid-card title holder to me, but that may just be me. I don't know. It feels lesser than him, if that makes sense. But yeah, Solo comes out and he starts saying all this stuff, and then and I know this isn't Solo's fault because, he's not writing whatever the hell they're telling him to say, but Solo comes out and he's like, Jimmy doesn't deserve it, like, he's the black sheep of the family, he's the failure of the family, and, like, just this whole narrative that, like, Jimmy is, like, less important than everybody else in the family, which is, it pisses me off, quite frankly. Yeah, like, Jimmy gets hate all the time on social media, and for you as a writer for a segment to go, oh, let me look at Twitter and see what they're saying about Jimmy Uso, and then let me put that in the segment. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, dead ass, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Stop bringing up these talking points to make the hate on Jimmy Uso worse. Like, and that's not even the half of it for me. That's not the half of it for me. So yeah, they start talking or whatever, and then Solo almost says the F word, and they edited it out in the US broadcast, but I watched the overseas broadcast, and Solo almost said the F word, and Jimmy was trying not to laugh his ass off. So then the Bloodline comes in, and they attack LA Knight and Jimmy, and then Braun Strowman comes out, and then Nick Aldis is like, there's 3 of you and 3 of you. We might as well have a match. And so they have a match. Which is fine, I guess. You know, I'll take what I can get for Jimmy Uso wrestling. But here's where my problem is. I understand Jimmy getting thrown around by Jacob Fatu because Jacob Fatu is a bigger force, I guess. But why are Tama Tonga and Solo just completely dominating Jimmy and making it to where he can only get like 2 or 3 instances of offense in a match? Like, why? Especially with Solo's current role as like this managerial, like stuck in the background type, you know, like walking on eggshells with Jacob Fatu situation. Like, he should not be this dominating dude. Like, you're portraying him personality-wise as weaker. So why is he over here throwing Jimmy around like it's fucking nothing? Like, I'm tired of them not capitalizing on the... I'm tired of them not capitalizing on how popular Jimmy is, how good Jimmy is in a ring. Like, legitimately, every single match other than the Carmelo Hayes one that Jimmy had, he hasn't really been able to wrestle. Like, at all. He hasn't been able to show anything at all. And that's killing his singles run, right? It's killing his singles run. And, you know, I hate to sit here and speculate about the reason why Jimmy Uso's booking is just completely fucking weird. But a part of me, and I hate to say this, a part of me feels like that even though they're on separate brands, WWE Creative is more focused on the way they're booking Jay and not Jimmy because they don't want to push both of them at the same time and have one of them kill the other's thing, which is not going to happen. First of all, that won't happen. They're on separate brands competing in 2 different divisions. Like, why can't we push them both? You're being fucking lazy at this point. But yeah, so they have this match, and Jimmy Uso, LA Knight, and Braun Strowman get the win, but then, obviously, in Bloodline fashion, they get fucking attacked. Like, you know? So, yeah, they win, but, like, at what cost? Honestly. The next thing I want to talk about is Jade Cargill's interview that she did. It was short. I wish it was longer, and I wish there were a little bit more, like, questions in the middle of it. But in the middle of this thing, she's like, because I think Kathy asked her, how did you know that Naomi was the one that attacked you? And Jade was like, well, I got hit from behind, but I saw her running away. So now a part of me is like, did Naomi do it? Like, I know Naomi said she did it, and I'm going to believe her in her actual words, right? But something's fishy about it. You know what I mean? Like, something weird's going on right there. And I'm not trying to say that, like, Bianca did it, or Bayley did it, or somebody else did it, but I have more questions now. Like, if you would have left it at Naomi being like, oh, I attacked her, I would have been like, all right, cool, fine, yep, that's what we're going with. And then Jade comes on here and she's like, well, I got hit from behind, so I don't really know who, like, she didn't say she didn't know who. You know, Jade comes on here and she's like, oh, I got hit from behind, but I saw her running away. I mean, that could mean so many different things. Like, it really could. But I'm not going to sit here and speculate. Liv and Raquel come in and they're like, you know, you made everybody think it was us and it wasn't, and yada, yada, yada. And, like, I guess they're right. You know, like, Jade could have told Bianca, but I understand why she didn't, because, you know, Jade, you know, saw Bianca with Naomi and was like, oh, you know, that makes me feel some type of way, which is understandable. I get it. But Liv and Jade have a match next week, so that's exciting. I'm excited to see Jade wrestle again. I hope she wins. I think she does need to win her first match back. They'll probably do like a DQ or some shit. Like, it's the Judgment Day we're talking about. That's gonna happen. Okay, yeah, and then we move on to Charlotte Flair and B-Fab, which for the most of this match that they had, Charlotte and B-Fab, it was fine. Like, Charlotte was mainly, like, Charlotte was mainly the one doing stuff, but towards the end, B-Fab started getting more and more offense in. B-Fab did end up losing. Charlotte put her in a figure 8, I think. And then the bell rang, and Charlotte didn't let go. And so it was like, oh, Tiffany's coming out. Like, so Tiffany comes out, and they start brawling and stuff, which, thank God, Tiffy is not laid on her back in the middle of that ring anymore. Like, I was so tired of week after week after week, ever since the fucking Rumble, Tiffany, the champion, mind you, being laid out in the middle of the ring by Charlotte Flair. Like, if you don't make your champion look fucking strong, I swear to God. But, yeah, so finally she doesn't look like total shit. Thanks, booking. And so they're out brawling, doing whatever, and, you know, they end up brawling out of the arena or whatever. But then The Miz has Cody on TV, on Miz TV, right? And they end up coming back out and brawling again. And Tiffy does a fucking moonsault off of the Videotron, which was sick. Like, that moved me. I was moved. You know, and she's yelling like, "There's a new queen in it," and like, I'm glad they finally realized 5 weeks into this shit that they're actually supposed to like feud with each other. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad we finally figured out that that WrestleMania is in 5 weeks. Like, but yeah, so that happens. I think at one point too, there was a backstage segment with Drew had like a vignette or something and was talking about how Damian is the source of all his problems, apparently, which I'm glad that you realized that Damian was just picking the bones every time you fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad you figured that out. It took you a year, but you know what? Hey. Like, so Drew has found his next excuse. And Damian's like, I want a match. And then Nick Aldis is like, well, no. Like, he's not here. So, and Shinsuke starts talking in Japanese. I don't even know what he said. I wish somebody would have translated it, because I would have loved to know what he said. But Damian obviously is like, do you want to fight? And so Damian and Shinsuke have a match, and it's actually a really good match. Like, I am pretty happy with how that match went. Except for the fact that Drew's big crybaby ass came in the end and caused a DQ when Damian was going to win anyway. Like, pissing me off. But, Drew gets in the ring and starts attacking Damian. I think Shinsuke hits him with a Kinshasa at some point, and it's like, oh, okay, bro. But, yeah, Damian gets attacked, and that's probably the Mania match. Yeah. Now, there's something else I want to talk about before I move on to everything else, because I meant to bring this up earlier, but I just, like, totally forgot. We had a couple vignettes play during the show. There were two of them. There was one with this person. I'm getting jittery thinking about it. This person, right? And there's, like, orange flames, and, they're on, like, they're sitting there walking on the ropes and all that kind of stuff and sitting on the turnbuckle. And that person is Rey Fenix. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Which, since this aired on Smackdown, a part of me is like, he's going to Smackdown. Like, which is fine. I kind of wanted, when Penta came to the roster and then the inevitable Rey Fenix coming to the roster, I wanted them to go on their own solo runs, and I think the best way to have them do that would be to separate them and put them on separate brands. But there is a draft coming up, so maybe they'll end up on the same brand. I don't know. But yeah, so Rey Fenix is coming to SmackDown. I'm so excited. I love Rey Fenix. I love the Lucha Bros. I was really excited when Penta was being teased to come to the main roster. I'm really excited for Rey Fenix. I don't know if they'll change his name. I'm assuming they will. Maybe just Phoenix? I don't know. But yeah, Rey Fenix is coming to the WWE. I am very excited to see him wrestling again. That's what I want. And then the second one that was aired was this. It was like a black background. Oh my god. It was like a black background with smoke, right? And so I saw a lot of people online. They were like, "Oh, this is another teaser for Rey Fenix." No, because there's a 4 in the middle of that screen. And I know a lot of people were talking about it being a Rey Fenix thing again. It wasn't. Because there was a 4 in the middle of that screen. And the only person that I can think of that has any association with the number 4, Aleister Black. Yes! Oh my god. I've been waiting. I thought, I thought that Aleister was going to make his return at the Rumble. I really did. But yeah. Aleister Black coming to SmackDown also, which, as soon as they said that he was done with AEW, I was like, okay, he's probably going to come back to the WWE, and hopefully he'll be on SmackDown. Right, I just think he'd fit better over on SmackDown. And then, his wife is on SmackDown, so it makes sense. But yeah, so Aleister Black and Rey Fenix are coming to the dub. I'm so excited. Yeah, I can't wait to see them debut. Well, Aleister would be returning. You know what? But just okay, so after all that happens, we get Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes. Great match. by the way. I honestly thought that they were going to have this one in I honestly thought that they were going to have this match end in a DQ because realistically, like, Randy can't take a loss right now. Like, it was his first match back. There was no way they were going to have him lose, which they didn't have him lose. But in that same thing, I personally felt like you couldn't really have Carmelo lose either. Because if Carmelo is going into the U.S. title picture, what does he look like racking up losses? You know what I mean? So I really thought that Kevin Owens was going to come out and, make this a DQ. It didn't happen, which is fine, I guess. But we got to get something going for Carmelo, because if he wants to be in the U.S. title picture, like, you need to start getting some momentum underneath him before WrestleMania. Please. Like, please. And I'm not even the biggest Carmelo fan, but, like, if he's going to compete for the title, don't make him look like shit before he competes for the title. Like, I don't know. And then after that is my favorite part of the night. My favorite part of the night. Gunther comes out and he's like, oh, I love Madrid, which is, it makes me sick to my stomach because I'm a Madrid fan. But he comes out and he's, trolling on the entirety of Barcelona. And he starts talking and he was like, oh, we got a kid. And then everyone's like, oh, shit, Axiom. And then he's like, yeah, Axiom, come out. And then Axiom comes out and they have a match. And holy fuck, it was such a good match. Like, I know a lot of people don't really watch NXT like that, or they don't know about people from NXT like that. So for a lot of people, last night was their first impression of Axiom. And they were like, oh my god, I love him. Like, he's so good. It's like, we've been knew this. We've been knew this. You're talking about the NXT UK inaugural Heritage Cup winner. You're talking about 2-time tag champion in NXT. Like, please, put some respect on Axiom's name. Like, I'm so tired. But Axiom came in and he hooped, as I knew he would. Nathan Frazier was on Twitter last night talking about some... I wish I would have gotten an invite. Like, please. Yeah, so Axiom was on Smackdown and it was phenomenal. And if anything, this is telling me, like, yeah, you're getting called up, Fraxium. Fraxium, you're getting called up. I have a feeling that, because they're going to London for SmackDown and Raw, I have a feeling that at one of those London shows, we're going to get Nathan Frazier. I have a feeling. I don't know. But maybe that's just the bias in me because I love Fraxium and I want them to get called up because, oh my god, the Raw tag division needs them so bad. But, I don't know. I'm hoping it happens. I think it will happen. They just gotta make it happen. But yeah, obviously, Gunther wins this match. Axiom gave him a run for his money, though. And then after the match, I started booing the hell out of Gunther because he started strangulating Axiom, which something's gotta give with Gunther, bro. I'm so... Like, he needs to stop wrapping his fucking arm around folks and actually commit to a storyline or do something within a storyline and actually, like, give a shit, please. Give a shit. That's all I'm asking you to do. All I'm asking. Because this entire Royal Rumble, WrestleMania feud and all that, like, Jay is carrying this shit. And all you do is, like, sneak up behind him and fucking choke him out. And you're like, oh, 10 weeks of hell. It's like, you do the same goddamn thing every week. Like, if you don't give a damn, like, if you don't start giving a damn for a second, like, Oh well. That actually moves me on to a later segment in the night. Jimmy's sitting there backstage and Gunther comes up to him. He's like, "Will you tell Jay that he needs to, back up off me and pick somebody else?" And Jimmy's like, "Fuck no, what the fuck?" Jimmy's like, "I know you're not talking about my brother, like, what?" Yeah, so he stands up to Gunther, which thank God. But, like, Gunther just pisses me off. Like, I need Gunther to get on somewhere and actually do something for this storyline because you're making me mad, sir. Last but not least, though, we have the tag team championship match between DIY and Street Profits. And honestly, the ending of this match, it was good. It was good. I really was like back and forth the whole time because in the beginning of this match, I was like, oh, DIY is going to retain because they're facing Pretty Deadly next week. Like, that story's already a thing. And then towards the end, it was like, oh, Street Profits are going to take it. Oh, no, it's DIY. Oh, Street Profits. Like, it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then Street Profits won. Yes! Everybody cheered. They have not had a title in, like, 5 years. And, like, this was long overdue. Long overdue. We've been all over Twitter, like, please put the titles on these two. Like, my God. Like, please. And they finally did. Thank God. I was about ready to crash out behind the Street Profits. I'm so serious. But yeah, that closed the show, and that was a good way to close it, I think. Needed that real bad. But yeah, that was it for SmackDown. Some things were announced for next week. Obviously, I mentioned earlier Liv versus Jade next week. We've also got Piper Niven versus Zelina Vega. Braun versus Jacob. And then Roman Reigns is showing up. And CM Punk confirmed on his Instagram story that he's going to be there too. So, like, we're really rolling into WrestleMania, aren't we? We really are. We really are. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you like this, if you don't, overall, I think this was a fairly decent SmackDown. I mean, the crowd was good. We had a few good matches in there, some segments that moved some things along. Like, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Better than what it has been, like, in my opinion, because SmackDown's been in shambles recently. So this was a nice turnaround, in my opinion. If I had to rate the show, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10 ish, like 6.5, 7. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's gonna conclude it for this video. If you like this video, if you don't, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.